Hey guys, and welcome back to One Pretty Little Box. I am so glad that you're here, and especially for this particular video. As you guys know, One Pretty Little Box was created years ago as my way of having a place on the internet to share every aspect of my life wrapped up in one pretty little box. Because I have so many different hobbies and so many things that I like to do, things that I like to share. I love to share recipes. I love to share what we're eating for dinner. I love to share grocery hauls. Those have not been around. They're coming back once football season is done. I like to share whatever. But one aspect I have not shared with you guys is my writing. The fact that I am an author. And I have decided that I'm going to include that aspect of my life on this channel. Even though this channel is not going to be all about it. It's just another piece in my one pretty little box of the world. So today I'm going to do an author newbie tag, and I am going to share my goals for November, my writing goals for November for you, with you. Not really for you, I guess, unless it interests you. So let's hop to it, okay? This author tag was created by Jenna Streety. I will make sure that I log her or list her link down below if you want to check out her videos as well. The first question is, how did you find out about AuthorTube? To be honest, I have followed a couple different people who were just funny to me or interest me in one way or another, and I kind of just found myself, at first it was BookTube, I think, but I don't really do a whole lot of book reviews. Honestly, I probably don't read enough. This is the time of year, though, that I do tend to read some more. In fact, I have a book waiting that I cannot wait to delve into. It's Erin Mangum, and I love her. I need to see if she has any YouTube channels or a YouTube channel, because I'm not sure, but I'll have to dig into that and find out. But I did hear a lot about AuthorTube through Kristen Martin. I know she does more of the indie AuthorTube kind of stuff, but yeah, I would say if I'm going to give anybody credit, it would be her. Question number 2, what genre do you write in? I tend to do contemporary adult fiction because, okay, the pup has decided that she's going to crawl under the tripod, so if it shakes, it would not be a regular video without that, right? But I do contemporary adult fiction. A lot of it has I wouldn't say a lot of faith-based stuff in it, but it is intermingled. That's what I like to read. That is what I like to write. I have tried to start on like personal development books, but I just get lost in the details, and I try to write it perfectly from the get-go. And there's so much in it that I'm not ready to even try. I wanted to, but that's just not where I'm at in my writing. I love to just get lost in the story as I write it, which might be a common thing, I don't know. Question number 3 is, what is your writing tense, point of view, and category? Well, I've already told you that I do adult. I kind of, as I grow, my characters grow. So since I am becoming soon in a couple years to be an empty nester, usually my characters are in their 30s, early 40s maybe. Some younger, I can kind of mingle in that too. They usually have teenagers, they don't have little babies. I can mingle in that because I've had that experience, so I can write that. But usually it's just a genre of adult. The genre I told you, sorry, the genre was contemporary adult. The point of view is usually from, I don't want to say from the main character's point of view, but everyone else has a voice and a very strong one usually. And the tense is always present tense. So it's kind of a present tense, third person, and adult is the category. Question number 4. Are you a plotter, a prancer, or a plantser? A plotter is someone who actually sits down and plots out the whole book and then goes to writing. A prancer is someone who flies by the seat of their pants and kind of just sees where the story goes. And a plantser is kind of both. And that's where I find myself in. Usually I kind of know where I want to go. But I don't plot out a whole lot. And I'm trying to think how to explain it from today, because I am starting a book today and it will be written through the month of November. So I know like the setting and the main characters that I'm going to talk about and the conflict, and sometimes I'll know the resolution, sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll plot a resolution and it always changes, because I'm going to tell you one of my favorite things about writing, and especially the last book I wrote. I loved it because I got lost in the story as I was writing it, and I walked away from my laptop I don't know how many times, either in tears or shocked that something had happened. It was almost as if I'm reading it as it's being written, and it was just a beautiful thing to be a part of. And so the experience is just amazing when you are writing a book. It's not stressful. It can be if you want it to be, but it's so fun. It is just so fun. I love it. So I'm definitely a plantser, because I will plot a few details and I have an idea, but it always changes by the end of the book, every single time. Question number 5. Are you self-published, traditionally published, or yet to be published? I am self-published. That's the next question. I am self-published. I do eventually want to go into the traditional publishing. I have yet to really sit on a book long enough for that, because it's almost like when you find out you're pregnant, and you're just so ready to have this baby, and when you finally give birth, you just want to enjoy it. Not wait around and be pregnant again. And to me, waiting on traditional publishing feels like that, but I'm just assuming that's what it feels like. So I'm going to challenge myself in the year of 2019 to go through traditional publishing at least once. We'll see. This one I'm just going to read because it's a little long. Question number 6. What publishing company, literary agent, and or printing company are you represented by or use? I told you I'm self-published. I go through CreateSpace, which is now KDP, which is through Amazon. There's a lot of people that will knock Amazon. There are a lot of people that will knock CreateSpace. Say what you want to say. I love them. I found the process to be very simple. There's some tedious pieces, but that's who I use. And I have not jumped out to use any other company. Maybe I'll challenge myself in 2019 for that. We'll see. And I think it said on there, if you're not published yet, who would be your dream publisher or literary agent? And honestly, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I don't see one better than the other, personally. Prove me wrong. Question number 7. What AuthorTube related videos can we expect to find on your channel? Well, how about goals? Because I am a big goal setter. I will share my writing goals with you. I might even share the process from start to finish with you. That would be a great thing to do. It would be a very long video, but it might be fun, especially for those who are curious about the writing process, maybe those who are curious about self-publishing process. This will be my hold on. I'll talk about that in a minute. This won't be my, I have self-published 3 books. One of them was really, I kind of regret doing, but at the moment, it's what I wanted to do, and it was very rushed, and that is one thing I'm learning not to do, is to rush. But I wanted to get it out specifically for Mother's Day that year, so it is what it is. You know, none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes, and this is a big learning curve. Question number 8. When did you start writing? Probably from the time my mama stuck a pencil or a crayon in my hand. I've always loved writing. Always loved it. In even in middle school and high school, I loved research papers. Everyone I knew hated them. I loved them, lived for them. I would do the work, and then usually the Sunday night before they were due, the Sunday before they were due, I would hold myself up in my room and write, and get that written down. And I usually made an A on it because I just loved to write. Absolutely loved the process. I told you. There's one thing, I'm kind of breaking off through this, but whatever. Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, was kind of explaining about how even though he makes all this money, it's the process that is just the most beautiful thing. And it really resonated with me because that's exactly how I feel about writing. It's not necessarily the end product, even though that's nice to have at the end, but it's the process from beginning all the way through that is just, I just live for it. I really do. I love it. Question number 9. What was the first story you ever wrote? I can tell you the first story I ever remember specifically writing, start to finish, designing the cover, everything. I was probably in, I want to say 8th grade, but it might have been 6th grade. It was somewhere in middle school, but it was about a worm eating his way through an apple. And it's not the Eric Carle version. This was the worm's journey into the apple and how it felt to squish himself in there, and the things he thought while he was in there, and how full he would get, and what's he going to do when he gets out, and what's he going to tell his friends he saw, and things he did see that would scare the dickens out of all of us. All inside of an apple. And I think at that moment I knew that I was going to be a writer. Come hell or high water, one way or another. If I had to work 5 jobs, still write, that's exactly what I'll do. Thank God I don't have to work that, but I do have a full-time job too. Number 10, I love this one. What authors have inspired your writing the most? I mentioned one before, Erin Mangum. I love her books. If you do not know who I'm talking about, she has several different series. She writes for the young adult, kind of the 20-somethings, college kids, younger crowd, but I still get lost in them. Perfect Match. I don't know the series. I'll link it down below in the description box. I'll link up her Amazon author page, and you can see all of it. In fact, I'm excited I got one of her books to read through the Christmas season. Merry and Bright, is that it? No, Hear Them Ring is what it's called, and it's just several different novellas all tied into one. But she is just amazing. I love her work. I am fixing to lose my mind up in here. I cannot think of her name, but hopefully it will come. Another one was, she wrote the Yada Yada Sisterhood books. Netta Jackson, that's her name. It was a series of books. In fact, her and her husband both write together, and he has his books and she has his books, and they wrote books together. But this was just a series of ladies who met in Chicago at a women's conference kind of thing, a church event, and They came together as a prayer group, and I absolutely love that series. I could just get lost in it over and over and over, and I was very sad when it ended. But then it kind of, a couple of them mingled into another series, and a couple of them mingled in yet to another series, and I love that because that inspires me and just gets my creativity going, thinking, oh, just because you finish a book doesn't mean those characters can't find their way in another one. So she really has kind of inspired me a whole lot too. I'm gonna stop there. I am not one who read any of the Harry Potter books, even though I love the author's story. I just never found any interest in them. That's not what I like. I like contemporary adult books. I just love them. Question number 11 is, do you schedule your writing sessions or simply get to writing whenever you can find the time? Honestly, it just depends. My boys play football, so right now we're in the middle of football season. Thank goodness we're almost done. I love them. I love watching them play. I love watching them do what inspires them and encourages them. But as someone who does want to write and does want to do more YouTube and wants to do so much, sometimes that time is just not available. So normally I would say I would write whenever I have the time. I find that when I give myself a project and a deadline, that is when I jump in and get busy. Knowing when something is due just goes back to the research papers that I told you about. I can do all the work, back-end work, but once I have a deadline, bam, it's time to get busy. And that gives me a lot of encouragement and inspires me just to push forward. Question number 12. Do you type on a computer or typewriter, write everything out by hand, or use a blend of those? And where do you write in general? I use a laptop. I also use a notebook to kind of plot and plan, because remember, I'm a planter. I'm not a plotter, but I do need to have notes, and I do want to have like character information and stuff, so I don't have to go back and reread everything I wrote to find the information. So I just jot it down so I have something to refer back to. But normally I just type on the computer, on the laptop. And where is, right now I do not have a home office. Our home does not have a spot, even though I'm trying to, in my mind, create one. Thankfully, I work on a laptop, so I can move from place to place to place. And I'm fixing to order myself a stand for my bed. I know that sounds nuts, but I know that in November I'm going to be writing quite a bit and quite late. And even if I'm not asleep, I would love to be in bed with my husband as he snoozes, because he sleeps through anything, so I wouldn't disturb him. But I get tired of being, a lot of times I'll go in the dining room, but I get tired of being holed up in the dining room all by myself. So I don't know, even if I had a home office, if it would work well, or if it would just be another family room, because I really like, in fact, I may even create my own office in my family room if I can figure out space and place. But that's another thing for 2019. It is on my list to figure that out. And question number 13, and the last one you have to hang out for, is what are you most looking forward to now that you are a part of AuthorTube? AuthorTube. Maybe some collabs would be great. I am looking forward to the opportunity of that. Maybe a writing challenge would be great. Because I like challenges. I like being inspired by goals. Maybe even a local meetup would be fun. Just getting to know other authors and understanding that we're not normal. My family does not expect me to be normal, but many people outside of my home do, and they don't understand that I am just not. I am not part of the 98% of the world. I'm pretty much part of the 2% in most areas of my life, and I like it that way. I don't want to be like everybody else. So, yay. That is there. That is the gist of who I am as far as writing goes. Now I want to share my November goals with you. I am in the process of writing a Christmas book. And it is my goal to write, edit, and release this book by the middle of December. I know many people are going to say, oh, you can't do that, or you shouldn't do that, or wow, that's crazy. But maybe it is crazy. But again, maybe I need that. I need that. The last book I wrote, I released in 2016, maybe the summer of 2016. So it's been 2 years. And for me, that's not where I want to be. I wanted, that's not where I want to be with my goals. So that is actually my goal for November. I am participating in NaNoWriMo. It was to get me going and get me started. And then I had one of those Albert Einstein moments in the shower, where if you don't know what that is, he often had many of his ideas in the shower, and that is exactly where my creative juices get flowing too. Maybe it has something to do with hot water on the head. I have no idea. But yes, I have released the name of the book on Facebook and Instagram. I have not released it here on YouTube. I will soon, maybe with little snippets. So that is my goal, my writing goal for November. I'm going to share part of the process with you. I'm not sure what, but that is that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out for the tag. I'm kind of excited and interested in seeing where this goes. And for those of you who did not know that I was a writer, now you know. That is just something I have not shared a whole lot on. I might have written it and it's been in the description a few times, but I haven't verbally shared a whole lot. And I think because we have these expectations of what an author should be, and you picture, oh, she's got her act together if she's writing a book. Heck no. I can tell you, most authors do not have their act together, and that is why they can write, is because they are not so stuck in their ways, because you cannot be that way and be creative at the same time. All right, I'm gonna let you go. I've got to go to work. I actually have to run by and get something for one of my kids' Halloween costumes for tonight. So I hope that you guys, now that it is November, you will not binge out on your kids' Halloween candy. But have a piece or two. Enjoy it. Enjoy life. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Do the things that make you happy. For me, writing makes me happy. Makes me very happy. Creating makes me very happy. And we all need to create something in our lives, right? So until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.